Okay, in this video we're going to look at the formatting involved in a research paper using Microsoft Word 2007 or 2010. And once again, it has to do with a research paper, but the same elements learned here could really apply to any type of a document. So let's start off. We have our document. The name of the document is W03A Green Business. The name of the file is at the top of the document. Looking at it here. One of the first things we want to do is make sure we go over to the Home tab and click over here, Show and Hide the formatting symbols. So left click here. You can see it's now indented, but more importantly, it's showing us where our various paragraphs end. The next thing we want to do is to show our ruler. One way of doing that is by coming over here to the right and clicking over here for View Ruler. See that our ruler is now showing up on top and also to the left. Next, we want to insert headers. A few ways of doing it. The way I'm going to use is by clicking on the Insert tab. Come over here to Header. Edit Header. And I'm going to type in my last name. Space. What I want to do next is to insert a page number. So I'm going to come up here, page number, down arrow. I'm going to go to the current position, and I'm going to choose plain number. Next, I'm going to highlight what we just did. Highlight this area. Click on the Home tab, and I want to right justify this information. So I'm going to use this button right over here. Align my text to the right. Still another way of doing that would have been to highlight that information, McKenna, page 1. Hold down the Control key and tap R. That also would have aligned my information to the right. Now click outside of the header. And that's important. A lot of times people are up here and they can't move around. So you need to click somewhere outside of the header. Now the header is defined as this area above the line. So click somewhere in here. You're outside of that header. If you move down here, you can see now that this header information has automatically been added. Your last name and the page. Next, what we want to do is hit the Enter key once. Come back up to this point, so position our cursor right here. And what we're going to do is we're going to type in our name. Hit Enter. Next would be the name of the person that you're sending this research paper to, the recipient of the research paper. So we're going to make it as if it's Kevin McKenna. That's who you're writing the research paper for. Hit enter. The subject would be the next line. We're going to say it's a marketing paper, marketing research paper. Hit enter. Then we're going to type in today's date. Hit enter. And then we're going to type in the name of the paper itself. We're going to call it Going Green Benefits Business. Going Green Benefits Business. We're going to stop right there. Okay, on a typical research paper using the MLA style, what you should always have is a header with your last name, space, and then the page number for your header. Some of the other things for an MLA style is that you're supposed to have double spacing throughout the entire document. Now, there's a couple of ways of doing that. You could get your mouse and hold it down, the left mouse, and highlight the entire document. Make sure you get it all. Highlight the entire document. And it calls for double spacing. How you get that is in the Home tab. This button over here that has line and paragraph spacing. Hit the down arrow, and it should be double space. Highlight the two and left click. Still another way of doing that would be to highlight the entire document, hold down Control, the Control key, and then tap 2. That would also make it double spaced. So you want to make it double spaced, and also you then want to come over to the Page Layout tab, come over to Spacing After, and change that to 0. Okay. So once again, it's double spaced, and the spacing after for the entire document is now 0. Coming back to the Home tab again, the entire document is now highlighted. And as a rule for that MLA style, you want to use a font that is not loud or jumping right out at you. Calibri would probably be okay. But still another one to use might be Times New Roman or Arial Narrow. Now how you would change that, let's say if we went to Times New Roman, we would click in this box here, type in Times. It's coming out with that Times New Roman. It has found it. And the font size should be usually 11 or 12. I'm going to change it to 12. So what's happened here, once again, is that we've changed that font to Times New Roman. We've made it 12 here. Then we're going to hit enter. Now what you can see here is that if you even click within the document, it's showing Times New Roman, and it's also showing the size of the font. So you highlight the entire area, come up here and change to the appropriate font and size. Still another thing for the MLA style is that the title for the research paper should be in this location over here, and you need to center it across the page. So you want to come over here, come up here, and click center. So now it's centered. The next thing that you want to do for your research paper is at the beginning of each paragraph should be indented by a ½ inch. The easiest way to do that is to start from this point here, beneath your title, highlight the rest of the document all the way down to the end, and come up to your ruler. And you're going to see in your ruler, like there's two diamonds here, a bottom one and a top one. The top one, if you hover your mouse over it, it will say first line indent. Okay? The bottom one, not the bottom one that you want the top one that has first line indent. If you hold down your left mouse, you can drag it over to ½ inch, and you can see what's happened. Because at the beginning of each paragraph is now indented by a ½ inch. I mean, this is standard not only for a research paper, but most documents that you would be typing out. You highlight the area, come up here to this top diamond, which says first line indent, hold down the left mouse, and drag it over to ½ inch. Okay, what we're going to do next is we're going to take this research paper and we're going to insert some footnotes and citations. And these are the steps involved for doing that. In Microsoft Word, the tab will be, you want to click on the References tab. The References tab contains many of the buttons having to do with working with the research paper, such as inserting a footnote, inserting citations, printing out your bibliography. So the first thing you want to do, once again, is click on the Reference tab, and then choose the style that you're going to be using for the research paper. If you click this down arrow, you can see there's numerous styles that you can use. I'm going to choose the MLA 6th edition. Once again, that'll be based upon your professor, who will choose what type of style he or she wants you to use. But you always start off by choosing your style, because that's going to dictate what your bibliography or works cited page will look like. MLA 6th. And now we're going to go on to creating or inserting some footnotes and citations.